Long before Imperial Star Destroyers, the USS Enterprise or Space Marine battle barges became iconic on screens, a long time back, science fiction writers and filmmakers from decades and even more than a century ago were hard at work imagining how vehicles can carry humans into space and to other worlds. These early spaceships reflected the scientific knowledge and dreams of their time, ranging from giant cannons that shoot out capsules to the stars and anti-gravity spheres to atomic rockets. While many of their ideas seem outdated today, they were groundbreaking back then and awe-inspiring. More importantly, these pioneering spacecrafts from sci-fi inspired generations of scientists, engineers, filmmakers, and authors, laying the foundation for the countless iconic spaceships that would follow in science fiction. So here are the first ever spaceships ever seen in sci-fi works. Let's get to it. One famous early movie spaceship is the Lunar from Destination Moon, a 1950s science fiction film that follows the first crewed mission from Earth to the Moon. The story centers on a team of scientists and astronauts who build an atomic rocket to prove that humans can travel beyond Earth. The Lunar was one of the first movie spaceships ever designed to look and behave like a real spacecraft instead of a fantasy vehicle. It was a large, single-stage atomic rocket powered by a nuclear thermal engine, with a tall, sleek shape inspired by real rocket designs back then. The ship carried its crew all the way to the Moon and back, landing upright on its tail, and even had long wings to help with its return to Earth. While some of its engineering ideas later proved impractical, the film worked hard to present space travel as a serious scientific achievement rather than just a fantasy. Because of its realistic approach though, the Lunar became a very influential sci-fi spaceship that would influence or inspire many others in later generations. Then before that was the one that was created by the author of Starship Troopers, but way before that genre-changing work was written. Here we see the Galileo, a rocket from the novel called Rocket Ship Galileo by Robert A. Heinlein. The story here follows three teenage rocket enthusiasts and their scientist mentor as they rebuild an old male rocket into a nuclear-powered spacecraft, and they become the first humans to travel to the Moon. The Galileo is a practical-looking rocket that uses a nuclear engine to heat zinc into a powerful exhaust, which allows it to make the 3-day journey through space from the Earth to the Moon. And after landing on the Moon, the crew discovers a hidden Nazi outpost along with the ruins of an ancient alien civilization. Although the adventure becomes more exciting than realistic, the spaceship itself shows Heinlein's goal of space travel as a serious challenge. The Galileo would also be stated as the inspiration for George Pal's Lunar from the previous one, the Destination Moon movie. Now, a very important short work called The First Contact by Murray Leinster in 1945 tells the tale of humanity's first meeting with an intelligent alien civilization in deep space. The story follows the human exploration ship called the Landvabon, which unexpectedly encounters an alien spacecraft near the Crab Nebula, leading to a tense but peaceful standoff as both sides fear revealing the location of their homeworlds. The Landvabon is an advanced interstellar starship equipped with a faster-than-light travel, an overdrive, with artificial gravity, atomic power, radars, and powerful blasters. The ship's crew solves the crisis through clever thinking, eventually changing ships with the aliens so neither side can trace the other's home. Although the story is best remembered for introducing one of the first versions of a universal translator, the Landvabon also stands as one of the earliest realistically imagined interstellar spacecrafts and one of the first ever to dream of a hyperdrive, FTL, and weapons that are commonly seen in sci-fi spaceships till the present day. Now, one of the earliest spaceships ever shown in movies belongs to Flash Gordon, a classic science fiction adventure that first appeared as a comic strip and then later became a famous film serial in the 1930s. The story follows the brave hero Flash Gordon, his friend Dale Arden, and a brilliant scientist called Dr. Hans Zarkov as they leave Earth to stop dangerous enemies which were threatening humanity from the planets Mongo and Mars. Their journey is made possible only by Zarkov's homemade rocket ship, one of the very first fictional spacecraft ever seen on film. Built in secret by Dr. Zarkov, after many people laughed at his ideas, the rocket proved everyone wrong by successfully reaching another planet on its very first flight. Inside, it was packed with enough equipment to survive space travel. Later versions of the rocket had weapons, an invisibility screen, better life support systems, and a larger interior. Even though its science seems old-fashioned today because it was created in the 1930s, this was still a very important milestone in science fiction. Now moving on, we come to another work from the 1930s which is called When Worlds Collide. This here is no doubt one of, if not the very first instance that a spaceship and an ark are put together in the same concept. When Worlds Collide is a 1933 novel by Edwin Balmer and Philip Wiley about humanity's desperate attempt to escape the destruction of Earth. The story here begins when astronomers discover two rogue planets racing towards the solar system, with one of them destined to completely destroy Earth upon impact, while the other could become humanity's new home. To survive this, a team of scientists led by Cole Hendren builds a massive atomic rocket destined to carry people, animals, and essential supplies to the Earth-like planet called Bronson Beta. The rocket here is powered by atomic energy, of course, and it is one of the earliest fictional spacecraft created for the purpose of saving the entire human race instead of simply exploring space. As disasters begin to tear Earth apart, the survivors race to finish the ship and then launch before time runs out. Yeah, so another early spaceship that was seen in movies appear in The Woman in the Moon, or Frau im Mond, which is a groundbreaking 1929 German science fiction film directed by Fritz Lang. The story follows the inventor called Helios and a small team of explorers as they build a powerful rocket to travel to the moon in search for hidden gold, only to face danger, betrayal, and difficult choices. Their spacecraft is a multi-stage rocket, which makes it one of the first fictional spaceships to show ideas that would later become real in space exploration. Instead of just using a single rocket all the way to the moon, it drops empty booster stages during its flight to become lighter and more efficient, a concept that is still used by modern space rockets today. The film also introduced audiences to realistic ideas like a countdown before launch, astronauts sitting in special seats during liftoff, and the challenges of surviving in space. Although some parts of the story, like finding breathable air on the moon, were scientifically incorrect, the rocket itself was remarkably realistic for its time. However, a year before came one of the earliest interstellar spaceships in science fiction, the Skylark from the Skylark of Space, a groundbreaking novel by E. Doc Smith that was first serialized in 1928. The story here follows a brilliant scientist called Dick Seaton, who accidentally discovers a revolutionary space drive and builds the Skylark, a starship which is round in shape like the Death Star and is capable of traveling far beyond our solar system. Along with his friends, Seaton uses the ship to explore distant worlds, encounter strange alien civilizations, and battle his brilliant rival called Mark DeQuince, who eventually builds his own equally powerful spacecraft. The Skylark could cross the vast distances between stars at incredible speeds, which makes it one of the first true interstellar starships in sci-fi. As the series continued, both the Skylark and DeQuince's ship became even more advanced, gaining powerful energy cannons, defensive force fields, and faster-than-light travel. Their adventures helped define the space opera genre and inspire countless stories about giant starships, adventures, and epic battles amongst the stars. However, more than 25 years before that came the very first spaceship that was ever shown in cinema, and this is the moon capsule from Le Voyage dans la Lune, the famous 1902 silent film directed by Georges Méliès. And the story follows here a group of adventurous astronomers who built a bullet-shaped capsule and launched themselves through the moon using a giant cannon, where they explore the lunar surface and encounter the strange insect-like selenite inhabitants. Although the capsule is not a rocket and its method of travel is scientifically impossible, it still became the first iconic spacecraft in film history and introduced audiences to the exciting idea that humans could travel beyond Earth. Its unforgettable image of the capsule striking the moon's eye has become one of the most well-known and most recognizable scenes in early cinema, one that set the pace for all future sci-fi space movies. Now next we come to the time or the era of H.G. Wells, but this work here is a few years after the War of the Worlds, which is also to be covered here. In the first Men in the Moon by H.G. Wells, which is a 1901 novel, this one here tells about humanity's first journey beyond Earth. The story follows the businessman called Mr. Bedford and the eccentric scientist called Mr. Cavor, who invents an anti-gravity material called cavorite and uses it to build the famous cavorite sphere. So Cavor's invention allows the spherical craft to travel by blocking the force of gravity itself. The steel sphere is lined with glass and fitted with movable cavorite-covered shutters that can be opened or closed to control which direction gravity acts upon it, which allows the spacecraft to rise from Earth, steer through space, and descend safely onto the moon. It carries oxygen supplies and 2 passengers, and the cavorite sphere becomes one of the first truly original spacecraft design and concepts in one of the earliest science fiction works. Then again, prying the mind of H.G. Wells, now we come to one of the most famous science fiction works ever made, The War of the Worlds. This groundbreaking 1897 novel is about a devastating Martian invasion of Earth. The story follows an ordinary Englishman who narrates the story as a first-hand account of an alien invasion, and this kind of story is maybe the first ever written in modern science fiction. Anyway, here we see spaceships too, but in the form of Martian cylinders, which are shot from Mars and enter the Earth's atmosphere only to crash land in 19th century England. These cylinders are actually Martian transport capsules that carry advanced extraterrestrial invaders, the Martians. And after landing, the cylinders slowly unscrew itself from the inside as the Martians emerge, and they assemble their towering fighting machines, handling machines, digging machines, and even flying machines later on. And they begin a terrifying conquest of the planet. Although simple in appearance, the Martian cylinders introduced the idea of alien spacecraft delivering invaders from another world and became one of the most influential space vehicles in science fiction. But even earlier than H.G. Wells though is John Jacob Astor IV's visionary 1894 novel called A Journey in Other Worlds, which was set in a distant future of the year 2000. The story follows a group of explorers aboard the Callisto, an advanced spacecraft that carries them on a remarkable journey to other planets, including Jupiter and Saturn, where they encounter strange alien landscapes, mysterious life forms, and even supernatural beings. Instead of relying on rockets or being shot from a gun, the Callisto is powered by something called a purge, which is a fictional anti-gravity force that allows it to escape Earth's pull and travel freely through space. This makes it the first of the earliest spacecraft to use the idea of anti-gravity propulsion, and decades before similar concepts became common in science fiction. Although the science behind Apergy was entirely imaginary, the Callisto helped establish many of the ideas that would later become central to science fiction, and remains one of the earliest fictional spaceships ever conceived, maybe even the earliest. And so finally we come to the first ever spacecraft ever imagined in science fiction, and this was the Columbiad from the Earth to the Moon of 1865 and its sequel Around the Moon in 1870 by Jules Verne. Here we see members of the Baltimore Gun Club who decides to send 3 men to the moon by firing a bullet-shaped space capsule from the gigantic Columbiad, an enormous cannon built in Florida. Verne imagined that could reach the moon through the force of an incredibly powerful launch, which makes it one of the first detailed concepts or attempts to explain how humans might be able to travel into space. Inside, the capsule carries 3 passengers along with supplies, air, food, and scientific equipment for the journey. And interestingly enough, around this time, space was still a very strange concept. It was still the sky and the heavens. Anyway, many of his ideas, Jules Verne's ideas, including the launch from Florida, carrying a small crew in a compact capsule, and recovering the spacecraft after splashdown, remarkably resembles aspects of real-world NASA space missions. And that's not just strange, it's kind of prophetic because it inspired both science fiction spacecrafts and also real-world space missions. Anyway, those are the earliest spaceships ever seen in science fiction works, from 1865 till 1950. Now with that we end this video. Do hit the like button for support and also click that bell button for regular updates on new video uploads. Also subscribe to be a part of Legion Nutbug. And till the next time, take care, boys.